All right, greetings everybody, and it is new week. It is time for Final Fantasy 13 to return. So, yes, here on JP, we've been enjoying the last few days of just a little bit of quiet, a little bit of most people just kind of done with Arena because it is a point grind fest. And for globalers who love that kind of stuff, boy, do I have some good news for you in the future, because Wotv is definitely a grind to end up getting into a finished state. So with that being said, let's take a look. And today, for just kind of time's sake, I'm basically doing the global news in part with the JP news so that I can focus a little bit more on maybe a in-depth preview for the character that Global's getting, but I do want to talk a bit in brief. So let's start with the global news. Taking a look at Global this week, you're getting some unit updates, 6-star equipments, obviously Shadow Lynx new version being one of the bigger thing, also Ultima Bringer, Azure Glacier, Glaive of Emptiness. There are more than just, a few updates for that, and that's all good. Limited Guild War, class match, and arena one. Another story update, which is good. I mean, you guys are going to be almost caught up to JP. If you're curious, some people always ask, hey Umbra, when's this character coming out? When's this update coming out? And the answer for this is basically very, very soon. I think my camera might have been maladjusted. But the big things this week are, for Global, is another Apocalypse Festival unit. And for people, if it's going to be similar to JP, you may see the new version of Kitane in about 1 week, because that was essentially how it worked on JP. It was a very fast turnaround, both of these being 70 cost units. And Shadow Lynx also was one of the units that you could pay for on JP, just flat out buy for about 6k paid Lapis, and we'll see if that returns to Global or not. But I wouldn't expect any changes, I wouldn't expect anything too different, and as such, Shadow Lynx has seen a relative amount of use. I mean, she's seen use essentially with water elemental teams, as one would effectively expect for a water elemental archer, basically just being paired with the strongest stuff that water has. He's been in a few other teams, but mostly successful on water elemental teams. And to that extent, from most metrics, I would say that she is not as strong of a performance as Kitane's new version. With that being said, Kitane's version isn't exactly lighting JP on fire either. I mean, limited time cost events, this unit is effectively more appealing, and that shouldn't be any too big of a surprise. You're effectively looking at a very cost effective. So if you like range units, she's perfectly good, but also Fang is coming out and is lightning, and I should expect that lightning is going to be considerably stronger. So it might be worth waiting a day to see how strong that is. But then again, you're not always fighting that. If you're a big fan of Shadow Lynx, she's a pretty good upgrade and gets her into the UR cost. So talk more about her and finally do that demo and review, even though I've kind of already alluded into it. All right, so let's talk about A Blessed Sunrise is a VC that's not out on JP, and I don't know if it ever will be. Alright, so katanas, bows, staffs, and great swords, attack up, critical hit rate up, magic attack resistance, duels only area attack resistance, bestowed effect agility up, along with area attack resistance / attack resistance for Ober and Resnick. Seems like a nice VC, honestly. I mean, PvP ones are always generally good. I actually do kind of like this because of the Great Sword Katana thing. And I haven't done my preview on Oberon yet. I definitely should, but we'll see if I get time. I do think that everything about this VC is more exciting to me maybe than even Globalers. Like, I would really love to have this BC on JP for some of the teams that I would kind of want to do. Maybe this is one of those things that A2 fans out there would also like to get their hands on. Just checking. It is a limited VR, and keep in mind, you know, just what is coming up for JP, because that might influence how much you actually want to spend on this. All right, now let's switch over and talk about JP. Now, JP is getting its update tomorrow, so roughly about, what, 15 hours from now? I'm not even, like, taking too much of a consideration there because I'm not doing the math. I'm just gonna roll with it. Basically, it's not in 3 hours ish. It's not at midnight tonight because there is an actual app update which pushes it much later. So if you're wondering about Fang, cool your jets. We'll get to it shortly. Speaking of which, let's talk about Fang, because yeah, arena map is going to be great for her and everything to do with that, and I assume just lightning teams in general. But Fang herself, we've already gone over her kit. I think it's looking pretty premium. Newer type jobs across the board for everything, with operative being the oldest, which is really good. I really like that a lot. But for spear-based jobs, quite powerful abilities by the looks of it, and support and DPS, Fang could be quite meta warping depending on how good she is and how good she's at dealing with wind of all things right now, because it's certainly setting up to kind of being maybe a wind, lightning, earth kind of battle at the top, with wind potentially being the most overly strong, but we'll see how lightning does. AP reduction down, as well as just some attack bonus in her master ability. Fang is definitely looking pretty good, and we even have the first details about banners right here to do with FF13. So of course you will get another chance at hope. There's always hope. All these jokes have been done to death. Moving on, Fang will of course have her normal banners. She will get a 9-step that is 18k. I mean, it does come with 80 shards on the way up, and she is a 90 cost, so I would say that you have generally good odds if you wanted to go up this thing and try to get to the very top. As for paid is essentially the exact same that you normally would get. The 5 URs, which I always think are scams because they just never end up paying out for anybody in the history of Wotv, and I make that claim 100%. As for the old FF13 units and vision cards, they will come back on their own banners, also with a 9-step where you have this nice choose the 40 shards that you want if you really want to go that route, and also just looks like they're just jamming all the old units together on a single banner, as well as all the old VCs too. Don't think I particularly like this too terribly much, but Fang is definitely the main attraction of this until we see how much better lightning kind of performs. And yeah, until then, I guess we'll just be waiting to see how that goes. Is there anything else too terribly much to talk about? We do have the special shops for the event, such as getting some shards for pretty cheap or some resources for pretty cheap. Scrolling down, nothing too much there. Login bonuses. We do get a general idea, a couple of tickets, free snow vision card to go with, or hope vision card to go with that free hope. And yeah, that kind of wraps it up, except for a pickup match on JP. So there you go. That's essentially the look at what JP players will be getting tomorrow. Of course, the app update is bringing some changes to, especially to just, I believe, the UI and whatnot for unit. And those Guild War changes have to be happening pretty soon. I'm just forgetting when they launched. watch already? I don't even know. We're gonna take a second and just take a peek. But yeah, I will get into, yeah, it's not up yet. I think it's supposed to be tomorrow, but I'm not seeing it in the 9.3 version. I'll double check on that. Other than that, Shadow Lynx and Oberon videos will be coming very shortly. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, and see you for all the Fang stuff this week.